Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today I want to talk about, as promised yesterday when I did my video of the top 5 striker-fired guns, at least in my opinion, today I want to talk about the top 5 striker-fired guns for everyday carry. Because I think most of us know that what makes something a better gun might not make it a better carry gun. If it's the best gun in the world, but it's prohibitively heavy, or prohibitively large, or prohibitively expensive even sometimes, a lot of people won't carry it, so it's not a great carry gun. So it is really a big difference between what is the best striker-fired gun, what is the best striker-fired carry gun. So that's what we're going to do. What are the best, or at least in my opinion, the top 5 striker-fired carry guns. Now, before we get started here, I want to mention the CZ, the P10, I believe it's called. A lot of people are going to be like, why isn't that on the list? Well, I'm going to give you 2 reasons for why it isn't on the list. One, I've never had experience with one. I've never owned one. For something for me to think it's the best, I probably had to have owned it at least once. And I've never owned the CZ version. And reason 2, and that's also the reason why I've never owned one, is when I have seen one or shot one, didn't impress me. It was Johnny come lately Glock. You know, it was just a Glock clone that came along way too late, basically, is what it seemed like to me. So just never caught my interest. It didn't come along at a time where I was even the least bit interested in polymer guns. Came along way late in the game just because CZ wanted to get their feet wet in the polymer market, or dip their wick in the polymer market, I guess I should say. So it was too little too late as far as I was concerned. Now, it might be a great gun. You might love yours, but like I said, came a little too late for me, and like I said, no experience with it. So it is not going to be on my list. So with that being said, and I want to say this before everyone just screams at me, where's the CZ? Where's the CZ? Where's the CZ? It's on somebody else's list, if you got to find it. I'm sure it's on a lot of people's top 5 lists of striker-fired carry guns. It's just not on mine. So with that being said, let's get started with our list here. And as usual, we're going to start with number 5. All right, at number 5 on the list is a polymer gun from Beretta, and it is, as you can probably guess, the Beretta APX. Now, the Beretta APX is an awesome gun. And I know I use the word awesome a lot, but most guns are kind of awesome in their way. But the APX is a pretty awesome gun. It's a modular gun. I love modular guns. And the best thing I love about a modular gun is if you damage that polymer grip frame, you just take it off and buy another one. It's like $50. You get another one with new back straps and everything. You can even get different colors if you want to mix and match the color of your gun. Get a gun that's all black and then get a, OD green grip frame, or a Coyote tan, or whatever they want to call it, grip frame. Have you a 2-tone gun, a little bit different interests to it, a little, different looks to it. And it's a good, reliable gun. The slide does kind of look like a Klingon's forehead, but it gives it a little interest. It's definitely easy to grip hold of, I'll tell you that. You don't have to aim for any certain spot. So the Beretta APX is a great gun in its own right, and it holds up against pretty much every other competitor it has, and that fact that it's modular kind of gives it an advantage. But another big advantage it has is, even though it is as good as its competitors, it undercuts them on price by quite a bit, up to like $200. It really is priced right. So if you're looking for a gun that's not a second-rate gun, it's not a Caltech, that's not second-rate, that's 5th-rate at best. It's not like it's not a Diamondback or something like that. It's actually a high quality manufacturer, Beretta, well-known. If you're looking for a gun that is a well-known gun, polymer gun, and even a modular gun that you don't have to sell your blood to afford, then the Beretta APX is a great choice. And that very reason right there, the fact that it is a great choice. Oh, and it does come in different sizes, compact, full size, subcompact. It comes cut for RMRs. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Depends on which model you buy. It's just, there's all kinds of different combinations. And since it is modular, you can create different combinations easily. But like I say, all those reasons right there are why the Beretta APX is definitely number 5 on my list. All right, now number 4, we're going to have kind of a tricky situation here, because the gun that I think should be at number 4 is not being made anymore. And I don't want to put guns that aren't being made on my list, because then people have trouble finding them. It's like the P99 AS from Walther, as people like to say. It's not on my list because it's not made anymore. If it was, it'd be in the top part of this list. Same thing with this gun, the Walther. Although I say Walther. You know, we won the fucking war. We get to decide how a W is pronounced, and it sure as hell ain't pronounced like a V. If you wanted it to be pronounced Walther, you should have spelled it that way. So the Walther PPQ is the gun I think deserves to be right here as number 4 on the list. But since it's discontinued, I don't know what to do here except put the gun that replaced it in this position, because I've recently had some experience with it, and every bit as good as the PPQ as far as I'm concerned. Its looks are a little different, takes a little get used to, but awesome gun. And of course what I'm talking about is the PDP. You know, I was reluctant to say good things about the PDP. I was always telling people, wait and see. But after I got a little time under my belt with it, I found it to be every bit as good as its parents, I guess. It's, it's not successor. It's, what do you call it when it comes before you? You succeed it. Proceed? It's predecessor. That's the word. I don't know why I had such a hard time with that word. But this gun's every bit as good, the Walther PDP. And it's got that kind of unique design system where you can use the same recoil system in both the longer guns and the shorter gun, which at first I was like, well, that's kind of weird, and I don't know where I've ever seen that before. Then I noticed, oh, I know where I've seen it, on my Q5 steel frame. Does the same thing. Another Walther gun. Between the Q4 and the Q5, they use the same thing, where they got the recessed in front end of the guide rod assembly. So I knew I'd seen it somewhere before. But now, like I said, that I've had experience with this gun, it's freaking awesome. It comes in different configurations, different sizes, cut for RMR, just like all the others. And it has that ergonomic feel to it, that awesome feel to it, that you've come to love from Walthers. The PPQs, all those guns were the first guns I ever saw that had those really unique grips, along with the HKs, like the P30s and stuff, that had those unique ergonomic grips. And they just really changed how I feel about a lot of different guns, because they felt so good in my hand. But awesome gun. If you've got a PDP, I think you know what I'm talking about. It is the successor, I guess that's the word, to the PPQ. And it definitely lives up to the reputation of the PPQ. So that's number 4 on our list tonight, the Walther PDP. All right, now number 3 on the list. And actually, before I get to number 3, I want to just let people out there know, you guys are so lucky that smell is not transmitted through video, because I went on one of those jet boat things today with my family and got covered in Willamette River water and Columbia River water, but Willamette River water more so. And I, right now, reek of what appears to be a combination of piss and dead fish. That's the Willamette for you. And I stink to high heaven. So just be glad y'all can't smell that. And with that being said, I want to move on to number 3 on my list. Now, number 3 on my list is a gun that I actually like better than number 2, but I think number 2 is better. So at number 3 on my list is a Glock. It doesn't have to be any particular Glock, whichever Glock you like. Glock 19, Glock 29, Glock 23, Glock 20, Glock 17, whatever you like. That's the great thing about Glock. There's a Glock for every hand. That people talk about, oh, all the Glocks are the same. There's not a lot of difference. Why doesn't Glock make different types of guns? They don't need to. The Glock is what people want. And luckily, it does come in different calibers, different sizes, different barrel lengths, different grip sizes, etc. So whoever you are, you can find a Glock that you like and have that reliability, that performance, that simplicity that Glocks are known for. In fact, I think anyone that makes a top EDC list for carry guns, period, much less striker-fired carry guns, and doesn't put Glock on the list is a bit disingenuous. They're being a little dishonest, I think, because there's no denying how great Glocks are for carry. One of the most simple guns on the market. One of the most reliable guns on the market. All guns are pretty much reliable nowadays, but it's reliable. They're not cheap, but they're not super expensive either. I mean, you're not going to be doing weird stuff behind the dumpster of the Denny's to be able to afford one. Well, unless that's the only way you do have to pay for a gun, but then more power to you. You do what you want. Like I say, freak flags fly as far as I'm concerned, especially if it's for a gun. I don't think it even should even be illegal if it's for a gun. I think if you get caught like, I don't know, blowing a homeless guy behind a dumpster and the cops catch you and you go, oh, but the money's going in my Glock 19 fund. They should be like, oh, I gotta let him go. It's going in his Glock 19 fund. But that's a little side note there. That's not really talking about the Glocks. But like I said, Glocks are just awesome. Whatever size you want. Cut for an RMR or not cut for an RMR. 9mm, 40, 357 SIG, 10mm, 45. Just no 45 gap. Don't do that. That's the only thing I cannot get behind is the 45 gap. Don't do it. Friends don't let their friends buy 45 gap. But other than that, great choice all the way around. You just can't go wrong with a Glock. And there's a Glock for every hand. So, at number 3 on this list, definitely the Glock. Because it needs to be on every list, as far as I'm concerned, of striker-fired carry guns when you're talking about which ones are the best. All right, everybody, now we're to number 2. And as you remember, when I was talking about number 3, I said I think I like 3, which is the Glock, better than number 2. But I do agree that this gun is probably a better gun as far as just evolutionarily speaking, being a little more modern, being a little more at the times, blah, blah, blah. I just prefer the Glocks. And at number 2, I'm talking about here, of course, the Smith & Wesson M&P. Now, Smith & Wesson M&Ps also come in different sizes, different calibers. You know, they come cut for RMR, not cut for RMR. You know, just whatever you want on them, you can get them. They have the tactical size ones. You know, they have the the range size. You know, what do you call the competition length ones? They just have a wide variety. Now, I don't consider those little things that you see. What do they call those? The shields. Those aren't M&Ps. I don't know why they ever stuck MP on that. That deserves the EMP moniker like the Mach-E deserves the Mustang moniker. They only put that on there so they could sell the goddamn thing. I'm talking about the M&P shield. Same thing with the Mustang Mach-E. They only put Mustang on there so people would buy the goddamn thing. Same thing with the shield. So not including the shields or any of those. I mean, you might like them, and I admit they're great guns. I just hate them. I don't like them. Never have. But you might love them. That's you. Everybody's got different tastes, thank God. Or 2/3 of the hookers on Stark Street would be sitting there all night long if everybody didn't have different tastes. So you love the shields if you want. But the M&Ps, the compacts, the full size, those are awesome guns. And like I say, I think they are kind of a step ahead evolutionarily as in front of the Glocks. But I like the Glocks better. But still, that doesn't mean the M&P doesn't deserve to be number 2 on this list, because it does, especially the 2.0s. The grip on the 2.0s is awesome. I remember when I first held the grip of the 2.0 at SHOT Show, and the guy said, "Isn't that awesome?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's great. I mean, too bad it's still attached to a piece of shit M&P, but the grip itself is great," which, believe it or not, the Smith & Wesson rep didn't think was funny. But they are awesome guns, and even though they're not my preference, I do know that they are a great gun, so they deserve to be number 2 on this list, the Smith & Wesson M&P. All right, now we're to number 1, and if I had the ability to do a drum roll, I think. I could do a dumb roll, just lay down and roll over. But I can't do a drum roll, or I do what I don't know how you make that noise. But at number 1 is probably my favorite polymer gun, which isn't saying a lot because I don't really like polymer guns. But it is the Sig P320. Now, these are just awesome. They have a great trigger. They have a great ergonomics. I prefer the original over like the X5s and all the other whatever the fricks they made out of them. Just the original frame. It's just a great gun. And these are completely modular, just like the AXG earlier. Or not the AXG, the APX. Because, and I'm saying AXG because here's the thing. If you want the P320, the polymer one is fine. But since you have that option for the aluminum framed AXG, either the Classic or the Scorpion, that's why I'm putting them at number 1. Just because you have that option. It would have been a fight between Glocks, the MPs, and the P320s for which one needed to be number 1. And I would tell anyone, just interchange them as you like, the top 3 on this list. Because I could agree with any ranking of those, like which one was top, which one was bottom, which one was not top and bottom, 1, 2, and 3. I don't get into their personal lives. But, I mean, maybe looking through the crack in the door, but not openly get into their personal lives. So, but since you can have the aluminum frame ones now, the P320 needs to be number 1, just simply because you have that option. If you just want polymer and you want less expensive, the P320 is awesome and could be here on its own. Like I said, different sizes, all kinds of different options, different shapes, completely modular. You can replace the grip frame easily, blah, blah, blah. And that's all true. So it deserves to be different calibers, deserves to be here just on its own. But when you add in those aluminum framed options, that definitely pushes it into the number 1 slot. So in my opinion, that is the best striker-fired carry gun you can buy for EDC. The Sig P320, especially the AXG models. All right, everybody. I am still short on time because I got family visiting, so that's going to be it for today. I will not be doing videos this coming week. I just want to let everyone know that. So I will not actually be back until a week from this coming Monday. I will be doing live chats every day, so if you need your daily dose of Yankee, you can get that during the live chats. They're generally at 6 p.m. Pacific time every night, but on Mondays and Wednesdays, they're at 5 p.m. Pacific time, if I remember it's Monday or Wednesday. Otherwise, they're always at 6 p.m., so hope to see you there over the next week. Until I see you again a week from Monday, I'm just going to sign off, as usual, by saying, as far as the state of the world today is concerned, it is what it is. It could be a lot worse, trust me. But it could still be better. And if we as a community, we start getting our shit together and we start ignoring the fearmongers, the profiteers, the propagandists, the fake activists, the people who want to make us think that they're on our side when they're really just trying to manipulate us and profit off of us to support the industry that lines their pockets, if we start ignoring those people, what things will be for people who love the Second Amendment and freedom in general in the very near future is better.